Leigh Leopards 4. This was by far and away St Helens' toughest task thus yet in the 2024 season, and they stood up to it absolutely like the champion side that they used to be in Super League. Will they get their crown back again this year? Well, on this display, why not? I mean, this was about playing the conditions, and I think that really is what separated these two teams more than anything. 96% completion rate for St Helens Place, 78% for the Leigh Leopards. It's as simple as that. Some really good quality play, none more so for me than Lewis Dodd, who played the conditions perfectly. His kicking game, his running game, everything about Dodd. A lot of the time, Dodd is criticised. Is he really worthy of that number 7 shirt at Saints? Well, let me tell you, on Friday night against Leigh Leopards, Doddy stood up brilliantly well. 21 carries, 79 metres, 4 tackleables, 7 attacking kicks, 16 kicks in general play. He kicked them brilliantly well. He kept Saints on the front foot throughout the game, and of course got that all-important assist as well. Really solid performance from Lewis Dodd in this one, a real key component. Right, let's go there. 40 seconds into the game, in goes John Asiata. I've watched this quite a few times. Does the contact start above the knee? Yes, it does. Very similar to the one that Tommy Makinson did in the second half. Let's just call this as it is. Take all your spectacles off, your rose-tinted glasses off for a moment. If that isn't John Asiata, is it 10 minutes? That's the ultimate question. But, of course, we all talked about the Asiata tackle after the semi-final and the Challenge Cup. We know there's bad blood there. 40 seconds in, it looked bad. It looked like he was endangering the player. The referee's looking at John Asiata. It's 10 minutes. And I think that, like I say, a little bit of it has to be because it was Asiata. I do think it did start above the knee, but it's just that tackling style. It really isn't very good on the eye, is it? And I think that alongside who it was, got the yellow card. But you have to give credit to Leigh. They stood up really well with 10 men. The amount of adversity that the Leopards are having this season. Last year, a lot of the time, they had the spine in situ every single game, and we know what magic they produced. But this year, it's been decimated. Noah Monet in this one through a suspension. Ipape out. Hopefully not for too long, but could be up to 2 months. Now John Asiata is out. Best case scenario, it's a grade A and it's going to be 4 weeks. But if it's the worst case scenario, it could be 4 months. And all of a sudden now you're looking at the recruitment of the Leigh Leopards in the winter, and you're questioning, did they bring enough quality into the side? There's no doubt that the likes of Dan Norman, Owen Trout are massive players for the future, but it's the supporting cast that they brought in. I've got real concerns over the 3/4 line of the Leigh Leopards. There's no doubt Ricky Latelli last night, absolutely superb. 162 metres from 14 carries. Latelli was outstanding last night. He really was. As too was Hardacre. But Hardacre next week will probably have to go to full back because Gareth O'Brien, I think, is out for HIA. That's going to create massive problems in the centre positions. And for me, with a great respect to Tom Briscoe, Father Time is calling. If the likes of Gareth Widdop and Richie Myler are championship players, I'm sorry, Tom, you've had a great career, but that for me is where I see you these days. I'm just going to call it out. The pace has gone. I think they missed a massive trick, did the Leigh Leopards, in bringing in another winger in the winter. They've sent Keenan Brand out on loan. For me, he should be brought back with immediacy. And they need to give Hanley a go for me on that wing. They need a bit of genuine pace, because the amount of times that we see Briscoe with ball in hand in space, quite frankly, he hasn't got the legs anymore. Simple. The 3/4 line of Leigh for me this season, real interesting to go and watch how that performs throughout the season. For me, the legs aren't there. They should have strengthened more in those positions. And with the likes of O'Brien out probably next week, Asiata, Ipape, of course, and Monet will be back. Wow, the one good thing for Leigh in this one, I thought Moylan played brilliantly well. I thought Moylan and Brad Dwyer on debut. Brad Dwyer in from the Warrington Wolves. He had a solid game in this one. Really good indeed. 37 tackles from Brad in this game. Always busy around dummy half. Of course, he got his yellow card, but I thought, the Leigh Leopards fans will probably be very happy with how Brad Dwyer played. Right, let's get to the former champions. St Helens. By God, they are scoring some really easy on the eye tries, aren't they? In a game of attrition like this one, it was surprising to see the quality of their 2 tries, but they were quality. The first one, lovely little move, fantastic move on the left edge, and there he is again, Mr. Welsby. He just seems to be getting a try game at the moment. A very assured performance once again from Jack Welsby. Was that enough to get Whitley the man of the match performance? Whitley was good. I think he's been very consistent. 28 tackles, 13 carries, 89 metres from him. He got 5 tackle busts last night. Whitley's been real good, but was he man of the match? No, I don't think he was, but it's a really well taken try. The second try of St. Helens, the one scored by Tommy Makinson. Well, that again, absolutely superb. Doddy off he went down the middle. Makinson over he goes for a typical Tommy Makinson try. Once he gets into space, you're not catching Tommy, are you? 2 really well taken tries. I thought the build up as well to the Hardacre try for Leigh was really good as well. Good break. You know, the ball back in the on the inside. Off goes Gareth O'Brien. Then a quick shift. You know, they had Saints on the back foot and Hardacre goes in. A lot of questions. Did it actually touch the ground? But anyway, there you go. 12-4. Really interesting game. Like I say, this was a test for Saints. Real battle of attrition down the middle for both sides. Considering the injury problems that Leigh have got, the players that weren't playing, this isn't that bad a result. Let's not forget, Leigh got off to a slow start last year. Don't you worry, be the Roarers out there. I think Leigh will come good in the long term. At the moment, no, they're just having to do it tough. As for St Helens, the perfect 3 from 3. And this was an assured display from them. In those type of conditions, you've got to play the conditions. They were strong and true down the middle. The kicking game of Dodd was absolutely pinpoint and kept Leigh penned in their own half. And when they had the opportunities, you know, they do perform. I mean, it's like going to a fine dining restaurant, isn't it? When they're in the groove, some of their tries very easy on the eye. For once, Darrell Clarke didn't shine on this. I thought he really struggled in the first period. Probably Clarke's worst of his first 3 games for the Saints, but you know, he'll come good. Good to see Moses Mbai back as well. And the other player that I have to mention is James Bell. I am not surprised it was when James Bell came on that Saints struck with that first try. It was all about Bell. Bell was the man that you know, started that move off. James Bell, what a player he is. To have him, and he did the same last season. The amount of times he comes off the bench and just changes the whole tempo, the whole structure, the whole ethos of the side. It's just unbelievable. James Bell, for me, you know, he was in our dream team last year. He is a superb rugby league player. I love watching James Bell, and I think for me personally, in any other side, he'd be starting. But such is the riches that Paul Wellens has got in those back row positions. Well, you know, he's a player, an impact player off the bench, and what an impact player he is. The Saints, for me, looking very, very good and assured indeed. They'll be delighted with these 3 wins. They really will be, and rightly so. This one was a test. Again, the pitch, shocking. I mean, the amount of injuries that are getting picked up at the moment because of the state of the pitches. But Saints continue to roll on, and things are looking good for them. Another decent game from Morgan Knowles as well, I must say that. So, who am I giving the man of the match to? Well, I'll be honest with you, it has to be Lewis Dodd. Lewis Dodd for me last night, absolutely brilliant. Everything a scrum half should be. He controlled the game. He showed up in D when he needed to. 20 tackles. Like I say, quality tackle bus for them. One of them led to the try, of course, and a clean break. 16 kicks in general play, 7 attacking kicks. He put Leigh on the back foot. Superb performance from Doddy. 2 goals to Wells, but yet again, an assured performance from Jack at fullback. A nice try again. The amount of times we're seeing him come onto that ball, he's really timing his runs now to absolute perfection. 6 tackle busts in the game as well. A clean break. Jack Wells by 159 metres. Just keeps getting better and better. At the moment, for me, possibly the player of the season after 3 rounds just in. And then it was, well, who am I giving the 1.2? There was many candidates that I could give that 1.2, but because he came off the bench and it did seem to change, the whole game just seemed to change in that first half when James Bell came on, and that first try for me was absolutely critical for the Saints to just get ahead, to just poke the noses ahead. Brilliant from James Bell. So we're giving 3 for Lewis Dodd, 2 for Jack Wellsby, 1 for James Bell. Do you agree with that? Get in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. The Saints are on a roll. There's no doubt about that. 3 wins from 3. They'll be looking to make it 4 from 4 next week. St Helens 12. Leigh Leopards doing it tough 4. That's been In the Sheds. Bye for now.